Hey everyone, Alan here with the Magic Minute, where we take tricks and turn them into real magic. Today I'm giving a little rebuttal slash response video to Pigcake. He just put out a video about magic tutorials on YouTube suck, and I have some thoughts, so I wanted to share them with you. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is in no way a complete rebuttal or response video to everything that Pigcake said in his 10 or 11 minute video just recently. But there are a couple things that when I was watching the video that I wanted to go over and I wanted to talk about. Some things I agree with him on, some things I don't, and I thought I would bring that up here. So the first thing that Pigcake really talks about is he talks about the problem of copying magicians and how whenever you watch videos on YouTube, you can't help but copy the magician. Yes, well, yeah, that's true. In fact, that's true through any format that you learn magic. If you learn that from a mentor in person, or you learn that from a L&L video as he brings up, or on YouTube, or from a book, you're going to copy the magician. You're going to copy their pattern. You're going to copy the little jokes and stuff. That's just it's part of the learning process. It's totally fine to copy in the beginning. You do want to come up with your own presentations that make sense for you, and it's something I've talked about a lot on this channel in previous videos. You do want to come up with your own presentation, something that makes sense for you. Of course, it doesn't make sense to do a trick about whenever you were at a bar last night if you're 14. That doesn't make any sense. But you know, it's fine to copy and emulate in the beginning because you're learning. So it's okay. Don't feel like you're not a good magician because you have to copy to begin with. Coming up with your own pattern can be kind of an evolutionary process. See, for me, I've been doing similar effects for the last 10 or 12 years in my walk-around work, but the pattern changes over time. There are things that I like and things that I don't, and jokes that seem to work in certain situations and things that don't, and it grows and evolves and changes over time. That's kind of what keeps me interested in the effects that I'm doing, is that they're always kind of under this evolutionary process. Copy in the beginning, that's fine, and then build out your own pattern and your own presentation as time goes on. Make it personal to you. So another thing that I want to address that Pigcake talks about at length and several times brings up during his video is that that the effect is the most important thing, that the methodology is not really that important. That's true. That's true, but I think the most important thing to remember is that being entertaining is the most important thing. Your audience will forgive you for a lot if you're entertaining. You can get away with very basic sleight of hand skills and self-working tricks. If you're entertaining and people love you and you can raise the roof, but the most important thing is to be entertaining. Pigcake also talks about how the method doesn't really matter to the audience if you do a good job. I can kind of agree with that, but you're going to get people who don't that just want to know how it works. Doesn't matter how good of a job you do, how entertaining you are. Some people just want to know how it works. They look at it as a puzzle and as you being a challenger to their intelligence, and they will want to know the secret. You can mitigate this a lot by being entertaining and being likable. I say that, but again, there's a caveat. So the reason I say there's some caveats is I want to share a story with you about whenever I used to work at a sushi restaurant. I worked there for a number of years, and I was, of course, pretty well known in the restaurant. All the patrons knew who I was. And I walk up to this table one time, and the guy is there with his daughter, and he just looks at me and goes, "Ugh, how much to make you go away? Will $5 do it?" And I said, "Nah, you better make it $100 if you want me to go away." And he went, "Fine, well, all right, that's too rich for my blood. I guess I'm going to watch the trick." So I do the trick for him and his daughter. It's super fun, super entertaining. He comes over to my side and starts having fun with it. And by the end of it, I'll be darned, but he tipped me $100. Pigcake also offers some solutions to how to approach this perceived problem that he has with magic on YouTube. And one of the big things that he mentions is books. And yes, books are fantastic. Absolutely. Everything you've learned on this channel comes from a book. And usually, well, always books in the public domain. The problem with books are things like if you watch my recent Scam Nation episode where I teach the boomerang card trick, that was nearly impossible to learn from a book. There was a couple illustrations with the hand placement and what was supposed to happen, but without being able to see it visually, it makes it extremely difficult to try to interpret what's on the page. That was so difficult, and if I would have just seen somebody perform it, it would have shaved hours and hours and hours of time off of how long it took me to learn this, because I had to learn that that was the right way by doing instead of being able to see it right away. And some people may say there's a benefit to that. I don't think so. I think if you can learn directly what you're supposed to be doing right away, then you're on a better path. It's not enough to do your best. You first have to know what to do and then do your best. And especially whenever you have professional magicians who are actually coming out and doing YouTube channels now, like myself, like Brian Brushwood. These guys, we perform for a living, or did. Brian more now just focuses on the YouTube channel, but he used to perform for a living. I still perform for a living. Someday I'd like to make YouTube my full living, but we're a little ways off from that. We know what we're talking about. And if you're going to learn from anybody, you should learn from somebody who knows what they're talking about. Take advice from people you want to be like. So there it is. Till next time, I'll see you guys around. Cheers.